So one of my subscribers asked me a question about how to use the AnimationTree node together with the visual scripting. So we're going to be using Godot visual scripting to open this door automatically. So right now we have imported this smart door, and I'm going to just right click on it, and I'm going to make it to have editable children. So if you click here, you'll see that these doors can be opened. Okay, so this is actually another scene. So right now I'm going to go on to right click on this particular smart room here. But before I do that, I'm going to parent it to this node. I have a node 3D here that is not in use. I'm just going to just quickly parent it to this. So I'm balancing it to make sure that they are okay. So right now what I want to do is I'm going to add an animation node on this one. So an animation player node. So animation player is for animating the door. So we're going to be adding some animations to this door. So right now I'm going to go on to click here. If this is not turned on, you just click here, and then you click over here and you click on new. So I'm going to call it door open. So once I do the door open, I can go on. I like to make it to be about 2 seconds. And right now I will select this door and go to transform, click on this transform and use the bezier. Now what you have to bear in mind is that the animation player and the animation tree node I'm using must be seen in this particular place if you want to be able to really access them easily with your code, and you won't have any problem with that. Once the animation player and the animation tree is within this particular, they are local to the particular scene that you are trying to call them from, we are trying to use them. So we'll have the animation player here, and I've animated this first part. Then the second part now is, so I'm going to start the second part about 0.5 seconds. So select that one still and just move it back this way. And I'm going to also keyframe that. So let's check. If you go back, you see the opens. So we can just select this part and right click on it and copy it, go over to here, and then right click and paste it. So remember to duplicate your frame, because this is a toggle keyframe. So right here you already have this frame. So you don't want it to be closed, you want it to remain open for a while. So I'm going to right click here on this one when it's open, and then somewhere around 1.5 I'm also going to paste it. So that means that if you play this animation now, in the beginning it opens and then it closes. So let's do the same thing for the other one. So when you select this and click the transform here, and make sure you use the bezier and then create that, I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. I'm going to just move this one backwards so that the character can go in, and click on that transform again. So you can just simply select that and right click, copy and paste. Drag over it, paste it, select the last one, copy and paste, so it comes back together. So now I'm done with that, I'm going to also select this, right click and put my animation tree node. The animation tree node is what I'm going to be using to transition this animation. So once I select it, I can just click here and select, I'm going to use my blend tree. So click on assign, and you can assign it to this animation player, which is for the smart door. Once you do that, by default this you have to use the animation panel, the animation tree panel here. Click on it and go to add node and add an animation. So once you get your animation, click here and you have the door open, and you can just fix it here. So right now it's just going to open and close. So we need to be able to write a code that detects the player and then opens the door. So to do that, I'm going to select my smart door, right click on it, and I'm going to add a script. So this is my smart door script. I'm going to click and save it on all my scripts. And create it. So right now I have this. The first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect. I need to add an area 3D. So the area 3D is what I'm going to use to detect it. So I'm going to right click. I've added my code. Right click here and I'm going to add an area 3D. The area 3D is going to be still part of this place here. And I'll right click and add a collision shape to it. So I'm using this area 3D to trigger the animation. That's what I'm trying to do. So click here and put a box. So let's see where that thing is. So it's actually somewhere there because we have moved this. I'm just going to move it to this place. So you can select this and you can just move it apart this way. And just scale it out and scale this one out too. You can duplicate, control it, duplicate it, and just push it inside. So we want the one that would be working from inside this scene and the one that would be working from outside. If you look at here, you have this one here. So that means when the player is coming, it's going to detect him from inside, and when he's coming from outside, it's also going to detect him. That's what this guy is doing. So I'll click on this area 3D right now, and I can call it my detector. I'm going to just select this and go back to node, go to signal, and go for body entered. So if I click on body entered, I can be able to connect this to my code here. So the code I have is in my smart door room. So once I connect it, go back to your orchestrator, you're going to see that's in this code here. So that means whatever is going to be detecting things. So the first thing I will do is I will go to my player, make sure that my player is in the group player. So if you go to node and go to group, you see that you have this in the group player. So if you don't have that, you can just click here and type player. Once you type player, make it to be global, and then you can just click OK. It already exists for me, and then you check this box. So I'm going to just copy this because I'm going to use it soon. So I'll go back to orchestrator. Now right click and bring in is in group. That's the function I'm going to use now to detect that particular group. So if I click here, right click and paste, I can put this here. So I'm telling you that whenever a body enters you, check whether it is the player, and I'm going to use a branch. So this is the if statement here in Visual Scripting. So if it's that particular group, that's the player group, then you need to do something. So I want it to play the animation. So I'm going to click on my animation tree here and go to my I'm going to go to my inspector. So we'll have this here. Whenever this is not on, you can just click up to the animation player and bring it back, and then you see it's active now. So the first thing I need to do is that I'm going to turn off this because I want it to only come up when I touch that door. So I'm going to just drag this from the active and drag out codes from all these places here. So I'm going to say set active. I'm going to plug this here and I'm going to tell it to set active. So that means once this happens, it's going to set it active. But then we need to do something, because sometimes when you set active and because it's playing once, it's not going to play again. So just assume that it's already on and it has played for once. So you need to delay a bit. So let's say delay, because our animation is about 2 seconds. So I'm going to just play delay for 2 seconds, and I'm just going to duplicate these sets and then set it back to not active. Okay, so that whenever you come again, it will also be able to set it active again. So this is just like a simple kind of uh, turn it on, turn it off, so that you can always have access to each time you actually come to this place. If you don't do this, sometimes it will just play once and it will not play again. So bear that in mind. So the next thing you want to do is to go ahead to test to make sure everything is working fine, and we'll just have all those things there, and I'm going to just test this again. So I'm just going to run, and once I get close, I can just run inside, and when I turn, let's get closer, and it opens for me. Let's try it again and be sure it's working well. It opens for us. And once you come, let's go out a bit because he has turned up for 2 seconds. So we'll go close again. That's how it works. So just your delay will determine how long you have to wait for it to be able to turn it off. So you just have that. So that's basically how you can be able to do that. So just turn it on and turn it off, and you have your animations to play around with. So if you like my video, do like video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more contents like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.